now that I'm a middle-aged man, I have some experience in life, being that I've lived through some negative experiences, some recessions, some catastrophic world events, whether, of course, we all experienced the pandemic, 9/11, the housing crash in 2006, all these different things. And what I've kind of now have experienced enough, I've collected enough personal experience that people that are consistently negative, people that consistently live in fear, invest in fear, and just psychologically they can't push themselves to stay positive, to be optimistic about the future. Negative people make less money, are less successful, and positive people, hopeful people are more fruitful in every way, in their personal life, in their career, in their relationships, in their investments. And, it's taken a while for me to kind of fully have enough data in my life experience to say that's true. Because when I lived through certain things, again, whether it was a recession in 2006 where people said the economy will never come back, or whether it was 9/11, people say there'll be more terrorist attacks again and again, or whether it was the pandemic. And even the pandemic, for me, I was like, well, is this the real big negative thing that we never recover from? And, certainly there may eventually be one major event that society never recovers from, but kind of the counter argument to that is, well, if you bet on the end of the world, you don't have anyone to collect from because we're all dead anyway, or the world is so bad that nothing matters. And that's what you should remember when you invest, when you have relationships, when you're speaking on any subject. You should address and acknowledge there is negative in life and things are not always positive. But you should be hopeful for the future. You should look at the context of human history. Since documented history, caveman era, humans are better now than they were hundreds of years ago. Better quality of life, better opportunities on average, definitely for people in the first world, in first world countries, right? So, same thing with investments, so it doesn't mean, again, you sweep negativity under the rug. It doesn't mean you should go all in on anything and just, because you got to have a level of diversity. And I'm not just talking investments, talking about life. And you got to be balanced, and you got to live below your means. You got to produce. You got to push yourself to do things you don't want to do. But you don't want to live in fear. Your relationships will suffer. You got to think about in life. I even think about myself, and I always check myself. You don't want to be around people that are negative consistently, because it's like that's a bad experience for you, right? And that's, the prepper mindset, or the people who are always negative. And so if you don't want to be around that, you shouldn't be that. Again, certain times address the negative parts of life, but this is kind of like a positive video, right? Like saying, okay, here's some negatives, here's some positives. Overall, stay positive. And I do try to say that in the context of my videos. I think you'll see that. It's hard because when we're in a negative state, a down state, fear is sometimes stronger than hope, and despair is sometimes greater than joy. But that's why what I've tried to learn as I've matured and developed is survive the day. Focus on what you can do that's a positive outlet for your negative feelings, whether going for an extra walk, whether picking up an extra side hustle, cutting an extra bill. Like, even I learned that, like, with financial things, a lot of people try to just cut, like cut all expenses, and they don't try to get other source of income. And then it's like, you're just living in fear. You're waiting for like the world to collapse, and no matter how much you cut, that doesn't help. It's just, so either way, like, all I want to tell you, in life, you'll experience it. Don't listen to me. And if you're middle-aged or above, and I think if you're younger, you have to experience it still. But I think if you're middle-aged and up, you have lived through recessions. You have lived through catastrophic world events, and you're, look at you now, right? Look at you. You could say to yourself, well, 20 years ago, I should have invested in hope. I should have invested in positivity. I should have invested that things will get better. I should have, I should have not prepped for the end of the world. I should have prepared better for the job interview for the promotion that I was scared to take. You should have lived more in hope than in fear. Your videos should have been more in hope than in fear. And your relationships will be better when overall you're net more positive than negative, and your quality of life will be better. And that's all this is about, for all of us. I mean, it's, we all go through ups and downs. I share that too. I try to share every aspect of life. Life is not just positive, but it's also, for the most part, not just negative. Everyone has their own experience, and don't get lost in that mindset either, that you just focus on, well, all these people have it bad, that's not right. Just focus on what you can control, what you have in your life. Okay, so, because you're not going to solve every negative thing in life, but just remember, for every negative video, make 2 positive. For every negative thought, try to reflect on 2 positive. For every negative action, try to do 2 positive things. Try to be more on the positive side than the negative. In the short term, you may not see the reward, but in the long term, when you look at the context, then you're going to see the positive return. And that's something that you'll just have to experience, because it's something that we all go through. But now, I think I can say that from my life experience. And just remember, if you get too negative, there's no one to collect from, whether your investments or relationships, because if you just curse the earth and curse the world, you're not going to get anything more positive. It's just going to get worse and worse for you. And, you do some crazy stuff that's just going to lock you up, or you're just going to lose all your money, and that's it. The world's going to go on without you. So far we have no data to say, no facts to say that even if you go totally ballistic, the world's going to stop. You may bring some people down with you, but the world's going to go on without you. So you might as well stay positive, because you're not going to make a dent in if the world goes forward or not, because the world hasn't stopped yet. So, just remember that, okay? And thank you for watching. I hope my videos help you in a positive way overall. If you want to support the channel, click the join button. Thank you to my members. Share the video, leave a comment, positive one, and I thank you for watching.